my head. Anyway, I was planning on having an early night, and it didn't happen because I was uploading my. Thank you, Essia. I was uploading my feeding course. So basically, I had my courses on pre-sale, and then I released the first one, which was like Parent Like a CEO, Agile, Pick Up Yourself, Babes. And then I released Managing Tantrums. And so the Feed Like a CEO course, Hey Babes, Healthy by Choice, how are you? Was only on pre-sale. And then I decided that Easter weekend would be the last day for the pre-sale, and then I would release the full course. So I'm going through like just triple checking the modules, making sure it's all good. There's like 12 modules and an introduction. And just like as a, you're very kind, Tara, because my face, so I always get one spot when it's that time of the month. I hope that's not like oversharing. And so it's here, and like clockwork, it's here. And also, speaking of which, so I'm going to digress. I don't know about you guys, but as I get older, this time of the month is just like, it is just trauma, to be honest with you. We're honestly, it is just traumatizing. I don't know if this is just going to continue to get worse as we get older, but oh my goodness, I'm talking like my mood is awful, um, my skin. So this is like, you can see here, this is it too. I think there's one here. No, something so. Or maybe one side, yeah, another spot there. I'm just like, oh my gosh, why is this happening? But then the good news is you get over the hurdle and it's fine. Oh, you love the nails? Thank you, babes. Thank you. You know, have to always add a little Jamaica vibe in there. 1000% recommend Steiner School for the twins. I had the most incredible experience there. Amazing. There's a Steiner school in Dubai with a forest school. Where them get forest from? Babes, not everything just sun. What are the complex carbs you and your children eat? Great question. We eat lots of complex carbs. So sweet potato is a really big one for us. Taro, or in Jamaica we call it dasheen. Um, what else do we like? It's just, oh, cassava is a big one. Basically any root vegetable is a big one. But in terms of, I guess you're asking because I don't like rice. The other things instead of rice that we eat is quinoa, bulgur wheat, lentils, and what's the other thing? I think those are the main three grains. I feel like I'm forgetting one, but I can't remember. I'm very sorry. And could you run through what your typical meals would look like, breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Oh, babes. Today for breakfast, so breakfast tends to be the same. It's always scrambled eggs with some sort of carb, pear or avocado, as you might say, if we can get it, or like a little side salad, some sort of greens. We're getting a lot of callaloo at the minute, so callaloo, kind of like sweet potato or pumpkin crushed with a little bit of cinnamon. They love the cinnamon, and then eggs. For lunch, what did we have today? Oh, for lunch, we went out for lunch. So we had some chicken and veg kind of vibes. And then it was grilled chicken and some vegetables, and soup. Then for dinner, I made roast chicken, but whenever I'm doing a whole chicken, I always, oh Lord, what is the word? I must be tired. What is the word when you cut the chicken down the middle and flatten it out? Spatchcock. Cheese on peas. Sorry. So I always spatchcock the chicken because, babes, nobody has time for like nearly an hour when you can get that chicken cooked in like 25-30 minutes. So we did that with the chicken, and then I served that with some crushed sweet potato. It was purple sweet potato because one of the girls asked for some crushed purple sweet potato. And then I had a side of roasted carrots, and then another side of okra that I cooked with some tomatoes, onions, garlic, and mushrooms. That was dinner. I hope that's helpful. Oh, another question. Is there any fruits that you stay away from? No. Fruits are, you can have whatever the hell you want. So my children choose their fruits. We do 2 fruits a day. And that's because, yes, I do appreciate that fruits have sugar, but I don't care what the fruits are. They're into this thing at the minute. So one baby accidentally forgot her watermelon in the freezer, and so she ate it when she took it out, and it's now become their thing. So today they put watermelon in the freezer, and they also put some clementines. How did your idea come up with the non-packaged sugar? Clara, what do you mean? My idea come up with the non-packaged sugar? I'm not sure what idea, babes. I'm not sure which idea you're referring to. And as per usual, this thing scroll and gonna way. Where are we going to? Sorry, I'm just scrolling up on one side. Ah! Bear with me 2 seconds. Me and my blind self. Okay, we're back. How was my birthday? I don't celebrate my birthday. I celebrate other people's birthdays. I've decided that when I'm making money again, I'll celebrate my birthday. My strict queen, big up yourself, baby. Hi, my best friend in my mind, Melissa. How are you, my darling? We don't ask too many questions. We just enjoy growing fruit and veg. You're a joker, but I completely understand where you're coming from, babe. Hi, I've been watching you for a while, and I was wondering, where do you live, like home country? Babe, we don't live anywhere. We have been traveling for over a year. I literally live outside of a suitcase. Instead of rice, I eat quinoa. Amazing. So the girls had red quinoa for the first time, and I noticed that the red quinoa breaks down less than the other quinoa. Not sure what's going on there. I meant to Google it. I'll go check. Turtles roaming around. It's like a retreat. It sounds amazing. Big up yourself, Jay. How are you, my darling? Are you thinking of sending the girls to school now? So I was thinking about it. I am still due my school visit, and I am always open-minded, but at the minute we are still living life in homeschooling land. Butterfly, I'm not sure why I'm saying butterfly, but butterfly, we like butterflies. What's your plan when introducing foods like fast foods and sugars? So in regards to fast food, it is highly unlikely that I will be the person introducing my children to fast food, just because I don't eat fast food. So the idea that I'm going to go and get the fast food for them is just a little bit strange. I don't like the smell of fast food places. I don't like the taste. It's just not for me, babes. It's not for me. But in terms of sugar, I imagine that we will bake together. But it's not really like a concern of mine. In the same way, I shared a video recently about the first time we had pizza. So it was Turkish pide, which is a type of pizza. It's bread, with cheese and stuff on top. And again, it's just something that we eat together. And they asked me if we're gonna film it, because I tend to film things when we eat them for the first time. But it hasn't completely derailed their diet in the way that I don't think that when they eat other things. So for example, they're now allowed to eat dried fruit, and they weren't allowed to eat dried fruit for years because it's very easy to get stuck in their teeth. And then I saw that they were amazing at eating whole fish with the head, the bones, everything. And so I spoke with them, and I was like, do you think that if you had dried fruit stuck in your teeth, you'd be able to take it out? And they were like, yes. I was like, cool, let's go eat some dried fruit. So introducing things, I think it's going to be like everything else. You have a conversation, and it's the time, and then it's business as usual. What time is it in your country? The time here is, oh Lord, I can't see the time. The time is, it is 12:46 in the morning, which is a really good reminder, because I'm not going to be staying on here all night like I usually do. I will get off by, what should we say, 1:15. You guys know that I will talk until the next day. My friend is a big fan. Who is your friend, babe? Can you do more videos on what you eat and how you prepare them? Recipe. So I have shared a few proper like long form recipes on YouTube. They're me cooking with the girls, and I will do more food. I will get better at that for sure. That sounds delicious. I'm guessing you're talking about what we ate today. I don't have kids yet, but when I'm older, I really want to do the parenting you do. Thank you very much, Kelly. Big up yourself and take time to enjoy your best life. Babes, I'm not a mom yet, but I adore your parenting style. I love you so much. Katrina, thank you very much. I do find it funny. I seem to have like lots of, I don't know how old you are, Katrina. I'm not saying that you're young, but I have lots of young people who like, a girl today left a comment. She said she's 13 and she likes my content. I'm thinking, babes, in my mind, is this even 13 appropriate content? Luckily, I don't really curse that often online. So I was like, okay, that's not too bad. But in general, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to be a little bit more responsible. Oh, and your beetroot hummus, you can't find the recipe anywhere. Babes, I'm not sure when I have the recipe on Instagram for sure, but it would have been a really long time ago. In terms of me making another video for beetroot hummus, I won't promise you very soon because a lot of times when we're in these Airbnb, babes, we just don't have blenders. But if I get a blender, I promise you I'll make the beetroot hummus. I roasted beets today. We still eat beetroot all the time. It's very good for your skin. And in my book, so I wrote a children's book called The Magical Midnight Rainbow, which is all about celebrating foods. And in the book, the girls, who are clearly based off of my children, are trying to find their mother's favorite food in this like magical forest type scenario. And of course, babes, the food that they find is beetroot because it is bright fuchsia. So beetroot is very much ingrained in our lives, but just not as beetroot hummus at the minute. So glad the lives are saved because are the lives saved? I didn't even know that. You listen to it as a podcast on the walking iPad. Big up yourself, babes. I stopped giving my little one treats because it's not good for her little teeth. And she really takes it seriously when someone offers her a sweet treat. Thank you for the tip. Amazing. I wish I could screenshot that. But if I screenshot it on this phone, God knows the phone might shut off. So I won't screenshot it. But thank you. I'm glad that you expressed that it worked. I think as parents, it's really easy to underestimate how much our children can understand. And little people love responsibility. And in order to, people talk about me controlling my children's diet as though it's a negative thing, but it doesn't have to be control in a negative way, I don't think anyway. So I'm really happy that it worked for you. Why? I just want to screenshot it so badly so I can put you in the fam chat, but I won't. I'll resist the temptation. And where can we find your book you just talked about? Oh, amazing. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say, but it's on Uncle Jeff. Do you know who Uncle Jeff is? It's on Uncle Jeff website and it's called The Magical Midnight Rainbow. It's very sweet. I have a video actually of the girls just taking it up, reading it by themselves, and I really need to put that online. I forget that I have this children's book, to be honest with you, until like people send me a picture of it that they've bought it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, their children are reading my book, and it feels so sweet. But it's a very colorful book, and it is really the answer because I find that whether it's books or pajamas or even when we're homeschooling and we're doing activities, everything is around sweets. Like the maths book is like count the donuts or count the ice cream. And I'm just like, really, guys? Are we really trying to indoctrinate the children with the sugar so soon? Like we can't count apples. And so basically, because I was frustrated that in children's books, they'll be like, oh, yuck, the broccoli. Like, why are we planting those seeds? So I decided to go ahead and write a children's book about the fact that fruit and food and veg is fun and it's colorful and the illustrations are gorgeous, if I do say so myself. It saves on YouTube. Does it save the comments? I wonder if I can screenshot the comment later. Also, we're adding more veggies to her diet, so it helps her in the bathroom, and she gets so excited to do a number 2 because she said she ate all her veggies. That honestly, you are just making my day. You're just taking all of my tips, babes, and I love it. So these are the kinds of things that I do share in my parenting course in depth. I also love research, right? And a lot of people online, they'll tell you about how the restricted diet the research shows that your children are going to develop an ED if you restrict their diet. But what I think they fail to understand is that a lot of the studies that they quote, they will talk about you as an adult having these foods in your house and telling your child, no, they can't have them, right? Or they will have environments where it clearly shows that parents are speaking negatively about foods. These studies do not support the fact that you are delaying something through communication, through positive reinforcement, through setting the right example, that will lead to an ED. And people just don't really understand that research, you have to kind of look at the bigger picture. Of course, statistics are great. I love statistics just as much as the next person. But again, we have to give the numbers context. So even as you say about telling your daughter about protecting her teeth or saying that you're going to go to the bathroom, you know, I had another person say that when they got my book and they were reading it to their daughter, there's a page in there that has these bright purple cauliflowers. They're very pretty. And her daughter had never had purple cabbage. And her daughter had never had purple cabbage. And immediately she said to her mommy, we have to find purple cabbage. And they did. And I was just like, how amazing that your child can read something and want to try another food that is good for them, which is the whole point. I am terrible on the comments on this side. I'm coming to you in 1 second. Sugar causes a lot of pain, inflammation in the body. You can use dates and other things to sweeten foods. It's good to teach good eating habits. I agree with you 100%. It's crazy how this restrictive diet is actually forcing me to add more healthy foods to her diet, which I love. Babes, I love this for you, and thank you so much for sharing. Okay, on this side, I'm Lord of His mercy. Let's just scroll as far as we can scroll. People, thank you very much as always for bearing with me, but it's really not my fault. It's honestly not my fault. This thing does this to me all the time, and I just don't want to miss people's. I can't even go up further. I'm very sorry. It's before I could scroll up as much as I wanted to, and now it doesn't allow me. So if I have missed your comment, forgive me. Maybe type it again, but I'm sorry in advance. April, I just saw the video above this live. This mom whose baby's doctor recommended to start screens, as in the doctor recommended to start screens. That's bizarre. My mom doesn't give me the processed sugar and I'm fine. And many told her I'd get an ED. Big up yourself and big up mommy for sticking to her guns. I eat quinoa instead of rice. Amazing. The thing about rice is that I just think there are better carbs. I'm not saying that you should never eat rice. Somebody asked me if I'm saying rice is bad. I'm not saying rice is bad, but I think that it's very cultural, at least in my culture, to eat rice all the time. Rice goes to glucose very, very quickly. And I just think there are other complex carbs that could be better for our diet. And a lot of times, you've heard me say this before, it really starts in your mind. So if your go-to is always bread, for example, if you're coming from like a British perspective, your go-to is always bread, you're always going to have bread, right? It's convenient, it's easy, you put whatever you want on the toast and you keep it moving. And I'm not saying that homemade bread is bad for you, but I'm just saying that it could be displacing other nutrients in the same way that rice, like just filling up your plate with a whole heap of rice, you just think what else could be on that plate that could perhaps be better for us. Dean, big up yourself. Babes, how are you? How did I learn French? So I shot a video today for YouTube to basically explain how I decided to go about making my children bilingual. So I shot the video today. The plan was to edit it and post it today, but clearly that has not happened. So go ahead and follow me on YouTube and then I'll update that. The reason I'm not going to go into detail with it today is because I was on this live the day before yesterday and I spoke about speaking French a lot. And for my ride or dies who are always with me, I don't want to bore you, okay? But I have gone into depth. I think it's like 15 minutes talking about how to teach your child another language, and trust me, it is definitely possible. Lord have his mercy. This thing is just, how long do I typically stay in one place? So I tend to stay in a country for a month and I tend to move to another like city once a week. Bali is the exception. I keep coming back. But this year we started off the year in South Africa again. I was then in Dubai. I have some plans to be kind of moving around. I do need to go back to Jamaica. I'm definitely homesick. And in terms, I might be going over to the States, which I'm still kind of umming and ahhing for obvious reasons. But yeah, I tend to be in a country once a month and then move around within that. So when people are asking me about why am I using non-stick pans or criticizing the chopping board, I actually have bought a chopping board to travel with us because I was over the plastic chopping boards, but I cannot travel with our entire kitchen, unfortunately, because my luggage is already overweight. it's definitely overweight. So hence why you kind of just have to make do with the tools that you have, if that makes sense. Lord have his mercy, I have really missed a whole heap of comments, no boss. April, do your kids listen to music, and if they do, what kind? Really great question. So we listen to something, be it music, nursery rhymes, or a like a story online, um, every day. So we start the day with Jamaica's national anthem. People think that that's weird. I don't think it's weird. When I went to school in Jamaica, we used to sing the anthem in assembly every morning, and I wanted that for my children so they know the words, and I'm very proud. If you've been watching my content, you know how much it means to me that my children know that they are Jamaican wherever they are in the world. But in addition to music, a lot of reggae from they were young, and this was really because one of my au pairs, she chose to start playing them Bob Marley all the time because she said reggae music is the only genre that she doesn't have to be concerned about curse words. So she could just play reggae all day and not be scared if there was going to be some inappropriate language, which I think is so beautiful, obviously because of the Jamaican connection, but also because that is the power of reggae music, right? It doesn't need to go down in the gutter. Don't get me wrong, you know, there's a time and a place for the bad word, but it's nice for children to have that. So my children do genuinely love Bob Marley, which is probably as cliche as it gets. In addition, I like to play French speaking music to them, so it wouldn't be relevant probably for this live, but also, as I mentioned, you know, the nursery rhymes and the stories in French is very helpful. I very rarely listen to, outside of reggae music, I don't really listen to English speaking music around them. Again, that's just because I'm trying to reinforce the language. Say something in French, please. Dis-moi une chose en français, s'il te plaît. What Were you always raised like this, or did you just decide that this I mentioned day before yesterday, I was raised in a very privileged background. My dad always made sure to provide for me, but there are a lot of differences to the way I was raised. My parents were workaholics, and I don't mean it in like the cute modern way. I mean that my dad worked all the time, still does, and you know, there'd be Christmas Day and he'd be at work. I think we all have our vices, and that is definitely his, which if that's his worst vice, then babes, I'm in a good place. But I'm very analytical, I overthink, and so my parenting style has been developed really out of thinking long and hard about the adults that I want to create, working my way backwards, but also because I have had to run my business independently, and I have realized retrospectively that the same kind of culture that I was able to create in my workplace and how I was able to treat my team is also a lot of the tools that I use with my children, which is why I created these parenting courses, because I realized that not everybody has had to manage teams, you know, bootstrap with no money, and still get the best out of people and still get people to want to work with you. If you can imagine working in a restaurant and my chef makes a mistake, I can't just go in and start shouting in the same way that I don't shout at my children. And so I saw that there were these really strong commonalities between me as the boss of my business and me as the boss of my household, and that's why I put that into my course, because I felt like it was a perspective that other people weren't sharing. The irony of this is that I have a post, a little short from one of my podcast episodes, and I was talking to a pastry chef, and in that post I say, if somebody came to an interview with me and their main priority is work-life balance, I would never hire them. And many people in the comments were like, this is the problem with employers and bosses. They just want to work you to the bone and all of this stuff. But I go on to say in the clip that I don't think hospitality is the industry for people whose priority is work-life balance. And I stand by that. It has nothing to do with working people to the bone. What I'm saying is that we have to be honest about what a job requires. And if work-life balance is your main priority, I don't think hospitality is the industry for you. Granted, I appreciate that some people work in hospitality in different ways, maybe at a management level in a really big corporation, and they get to kind of stick to a 9-to-5 schedule. Maybe that's the case. But as a chef, as a bartender, as a waitress, in a small independent business, there's gonna be times when you have to work extra because, you know, someone hasn't turned up for work. If anybody has worked in hospitality, I feel like within the industry, we understand that hospitality requires a lot of us physically. And I don't know why people get so upset about it. All I'm saying is pick another industry. Pick a job based on your needs. For some people, working 9 to 5 is not the main priority, right? And nobody's saying that you should work yourself and be miserable. And of course, you should get paid for the extra hours that you're doing, right? Work in a place that even when you're tired and you're hungry and your feet are hurting, someone is still bringing a good vibe and a good joke, and you want to come to work the next day. I would always say to people, the minute you don't want to come to work with me anymore, let me know. Let me know, and I will help you find another job. Because again, you are going to be better at your job. You're going to be happier. You're going to spread good vibes, good energy to the customers, to your team, if you feel good. But I think, again, like modern, maybe I'm just too old fashioned. Back in the day, I feel like people were happier to work at a place that they were happy and to work hard for reward. And now it just feels like the minute you criticize, the fact that actually life is going to be a bit difficult, this modern society is just like, well, it shouldn't be. I just want the soft life. Of course, we all want the soft life, but sometimes you have to work to get the soft life. Anyway, I don't even know how I got onto that, but it just made me laugh because this particular clip just has people losing their mind. And people are like, oh, well, I would never want to work for you. Okay, good. Don't work for me. Like, that's the point. What kind of chopping board would you recommend buying? Bamboo. So I used to have a bamboo chopping board. At the minute, mine is just wood because that's the best that I could get, but bamboo is great. Scrolling through. Hi, April. I'm a teenage boy and I actually enjoy your content and it's inspired me so much. That is crazy. Thank you so much for sharing. I have no idea why my content inspires you, but I'm truly, truly grateful. Do the girls ever get travel anxiety? As you said, you travel a lot. No, they love it. At one point, they were waking up and asking me, are we going on a plane today or are we going in a taxi? As if they're the same thing. For my children, a plane is just the mode of transport. It's not a big deal. It's not even, I don't think, that exciting for them. It's just how we get to point A to point B. Say something in French, please. J'ai déjà dit une autre chose en français. Qu'est-ce que tu veux que je dise? Mais tu parles français ou tu aimes quand je parle français? Je ne comprends pas ma puce. Thank you for your candor. Always, babes. It's not for everyone. Red quinoa has thicker and more robust bran layer and slightly more fiber, so it keeps in shape better. Kyra, big up yourself. I truly believe you because that quinoa was holding its shape. Okay, babes? I recently stumbled upon your page. You are so interesting, highly complimentary. Thank you very much. Love from South Africa. I was there in January. Big up yourself, babes. How old am I? I'm 37. Why do you teach other people how to parent? Why do you teach other people how to parent? I think you mean the way you do, because they want to learn. I'm not sure if I'm misunderstanding the question. I'm very sorry. Favorite place that you have been to so far? If you had to pick one place to stay, it would be Bali. So Jamaica is my favorite place in the entire world. Second is Bali. Scrolling through. Hey, April, do your kids? Oh, we did the music question. I have Wanderlust, so curious, what are some of the countries you've traveled to in the last year? So in the last year, we traveled to Turkey, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Indonesia, Jamaica, Australia. I feel like I'm forgetting somewhere. Malaysia. Was it only 8? There were 12 months in the year. I feel like I'm missing 4. Where are the other 4? I don't remember. Oh, Dubai. Well, UAE, because we went to a few places. I can't remember the rest. South Africa. Sorry, South Africa. And 2 more. Babes, I don't remember. I'm very sorry. But those places. Hey Cece, how are you, my darling? I honestly find it inspirational on your parenting ways. I'm only 19, but you enjoy my recipes. Aaron, big up yourself, baby. Scrolling through. Amara, are you my biggest fan, babes? How are you? I have YouTube. So you guys told me to go and create YouTube. And then, the long form content it's harder for me to create than short form. I mean, it takes more editing. I haven't really got my head around it. So if anybody wishes to share, somebody said that I needed to do more like day in the life kind of vlog vibes. Any tips are welcome, put it that way. Hi, my darling, how are you? I have not seen you in a long time. Do you remember? Yes, Amaro. How are you? Do you allow your girls to recognize you on Father's Day? No, I don't even ask them to recognize me on Mother's Day. And also, I'm not their father. So there's no need. It's weird. I don't feel that I need to be recognized on any day. They don't even recognize my birthday. They don't recognize any day. They're 5. It's okay. Hello from Trinidad. Big up yourself, babies. Do you have any tips for learning French? How long did it take you? So I properly started learning French when I was pregnant. I'm still learning. I learn every day. I'm gonna start sharing my daily lessons because I think it might be helpful. People keep asking. We'll see how it goes. If nobody cares for the content, then I'll just stop creating it. But I will create. I will edit the video that I filmed today talking about how did I make them bilingual. Scrolling through. How come you only speak French to your kids? Because I want them to be bilingual, and if I don't only speak French to them, they will not learn. I don't live anywhere. I live outside of a suitcase. Noya, big up yourself. Oh, we did that question. Porsche B, how are you, babes? Honestly, oh, you're 19. How do you explain to your kids that they aren't allowed to eat sweets? I explain that it's not good for their teeth. Please say something in French. I have said, j'ai dit beaucoup de choses en français. Aja, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Oh, we did that. Staying in one place. I'm gorgeous. Thank you very much. You're very kind, especially because I don't feel like I'm having a gorgeous day today. So I appreciate the compliment. No questions, just lots of love as going to bed. Rosie, big up yourself, baby. Porsche, I make fun songs about veggies with your kids. That is very cute. Please bring out a recipe book. I recently started eating only whole foods and it's been the best. So babes, I had a really good meeting with a US literary agent this week. And I think my decision is made, which means that hopefully they'll be shopping around my book proposal. I don't know if I'm even allowed to say that out loud, babes, but it's very, very exciting. So yes, hopefully one day we will have a cookbook. Can you guess what I'm gonna call it, or at least what I want to call it? What's an ED? Eating disorder. My mom lets me have broccoli and cauliflower and carrots and so much more, and I love them. Big up your mommy. Scrolling through. Hi, I don't even know what to call you, babes. We're gonna call you Ribs. How are you? Where are we at? If we do choose a product that has sugar, which is best? Coconut sugar, cane sugar, date sugar? I'm guessing date sugar is probably up there. You know, I'd probably vote date sugar, then coconut sugar, cane sugar. A lot of people say that sugar is sugar. And whilst I agree that to some extent, I do think that we have to be aware that when you have fruits or sugars from your carbohydrates, you are also getting a lot of other things other than just glucose or fructose. And so that's like the biggest difference for me. As a teacher, education student, and being in the classroom, I wish more parents would take a page. Thank you very much, Ronica. Big up yourself, baby. What do you think about kamut? Babes, I don't know what kamut is or who. I'm very sorry. I wasn't allowed candy or fast food until I was almost a teenager, and you don't have any food problems. Big up yourself, babe, and big up your parents. When your children see your phone, do they ever ask, can they go on it? No, my children know that phones are not good for their eyes. You might see a trend here, babes. Whenever they can't do something, there's a reason, and they remember the reason, and they love the boundaries. I agree. I think you can get more quality in terms of nutrients for rice, in terms of quantity of it, 100%. Marcus, big up yourself, babes. I don't even know if you're still here. Tips for winning your pageant. Oh, Lord. Scroll gone, Trina. For winning my pageant, my tip is, I'll tell you the best piece of advice that I received from another Miss Jamaica before me. The best piece of advice was she said that she was not the best in any individual thing. So she wasn't the prettiest, she wasn't necessarily the smartest, she wasn't necessarily the one with the best walk. However, she was the best combination of all of the things required to be Miss Jamaica. And that really resonated with me because I didn't think that I was particularly pretty, but I knew I could talk. That was my strength. Can you tell? So I was confident in speaking, and I was tall, so I knew that that would help me. But the point is, I then became less hung up about all the things that I wasn't good at and focused on just being the best all rounder, if you like. And that would be the piece of advice that I would give for someone who is thinking about entering a pageant. Be the best of all of the things. Don't worry if you're not the individual best, if that makes sense. Do you find homeschooling better, or is it that purely because you move around? So if I lived in the UK, we would definitely be homeschooling, because I don't agree with the like wider society of that, of things that happen in the UK. I don't agree with the lack of discipline. I don't agree with the lack of respect for elders, etc. I don't believe in the lack of competitiveness. There's lots of things that I don't agree with. So if we're in the UK, I would always be homeschooling. But of course, the moving around definitely means that homeschooling and our lifestyle have a natural synergy. Truly charming. Big up yourself, baby. Cash, how are you, my darling? Where are we at? Soon come back, babes, big up yourself. And segue to that, do you want them ever to join schools to embrace local culture? When you say embrace local culture, do you mean once we settle? I'm open to school as a concept. I thrived in school. I did very, very well academically. I can see where I gained a lot of strengths from going to school. Once I can find a school that aligns with my values, I'd be more than happy to send my children there. I just think that nowadays it's more difficult. Where are we at? Do you miss the fashion world? Babes, I don't feel like I was ever part of the fashion world. Unless you are Naomi Campbell, like that level, I just think it's something that I dabbled in, if that makes sense. I don't think I was ever part of the fashion world. I don't think I'm fashionable at all. I don't care too much about clothes. I wish I cared more. Like, I see stylish things, I'm like, ooh, babes, love it. But yeah, no. I'm not a part of the fashion world. You totally agree? I'm not sure what you totally agree with, but I'm glad that you agree. Miss Washington Nell, big up yourself. Look how I know discover. Babes, I was Miss Jamaica many moons ago. Okay, my sister, she rolls her eyes every time she hears someone bring up Miss Jamaica. She's like, oh my gosh, you're still talking about Miss Jamaica? I tell her, babes, once I'm Miss Jamaica, always Miss Jamaica, you know. Your favorite show is about to end. Kyra, pick up yourself. You're a joker. Your hair. Thank you. I'm not happy with the hairstyle because, as you can see, it is not even. It is not even at all, and I don't think it was particularly cheap. But I do like not having to comb my hair, so I won't complain too much. Hi, Oslem. Big up yourself, baby. How are you? The architect author. How are you, my darling? In my business, it's standard, a lot that goes on out of hours to meet client deadlines and expectations. And thank you for sharing this, because I swear people think that I'm some sort of SLAVE master, when some industries require certain things, and hospitality requires your time. Dean, I love it. Steph Sai, am I currently dating? No, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to date, to be fair. I think my moving around lifestyle doesn't help, but I also think that the type of person I am, the chances of me finding someone that's like compatible, it's just very low out in these streets. My dream is that my children won't put me in a home when I get older. But I also love love, by the way. I just think that it's not really going to happen, and that's okay, in the sense that I feel like I've experienced the all the feelings before. So for that, I'm grateful. I saw a post where this woman, she's like 36. She says she's never had a boyfriend, she's never been in love, she's never had like deep companionship. And I was just like, I called my sister and I said, boy, you know, out here in these streets, it's rough, you know, but at least I feel really grateful to be able to have had these experiences than to never have had them at all. Are you asking me if I'm Jamaican? Babes, I'm Jamaican all day, every day. Let's not get it twisted, okay, babes? We have the colors, we have the island. What more do you need? Dean, pick up yourself, baby. Do you speak frequent French? Frequent or fluent? If you're asking fluent, no, I don't speak French fluently. You should visit Kenya. I'd love to visit Kenya. I've heard so many amazing things. What time is it for me? Too late. I'm just going to get through these comments and then I'm loving and leaving all I know. Maybe this is personal, but are you a single mom? Yes, I am. Don't worry, if it's too personal, I just won't answer. Yes, I am. Unfortunately, it was never in my plan. You're from the UAE. Big up yourself, Yaz. Even if I don't have kids yet, I hope to do your parenting in the future. Big up yourself, baby. Mulan, UK. What is happening in the UK? Where where are the twins? Sleeping, babes. It's after 1 o'clock in the morning. I will join them soon. I don't know why you're laughing, Pepsi, but I'm glad something is funny. Bree, pick up yourself, babes. What are you doing? I don't even know if you're still here, because by the time I reach these things, it's too long. Miriam, how are you, my darling? I'm such a great. Thank you very much for being very kind. It's always nice when people are nice, isn't it? I don't know why. Also, I get very surprised by people's kindness in social media land. I think it's just because I've been jaded. Thank you very much, wheelchair girl. Big up yourself. Thank you. I don't feel very pretty today, so I appreciate it. I appreciate the compliments. A recipe book by you would be a dream. Wouldn't it be a dream, babes? I have thought about this recipe book for years, long before children, right? I was in my kitchen in New York at Columbia University, and I was just like, would this not be a great idea? So imagine years, and I tell people all the time, if I'm honest, I do get what I want, but Lord, it does not happen in the time that I want it. So this is clearly many, many years later. It would be amazing for it to finally happen. We are in April, April, baby. Call it, babes, you're welcome. Very close, babes. I like the way you're thinking. Very close. Babe, you're welcome. And you know what's so funny? Somebody came on the other day and they were just like, I really think you should stop saying babes. We are like, I was like, no. How about no? If you want me to stop saying babes, my content is not for you. Please go and watch something else. But in all honesty, I didn't know that I said babe so much until people would see me in real life from like watching something online and just be like, oh, you're the girl that says babes all the time. And what is funny is that I think it came again from working in hospitality and having to deliver harsh news, but wanting to cushion it so it never sounds so bad. So, if you're upset in the kitchen on a Friday night because they've messed up and you just say babes, it feel little warmer. And so I realized I said babes all the time. Scrolling up and I've lost a lot of the comments. I'm very sorry. It's not my fault. Blame TikTok. We've said the time, it's after 1. Do you have a place you call your home? No, I just travel. I mean, Jamaica is my home in my heart, but I just travel. I don't live anywhere. I'm a chef and would love to own my own restaurant. Any tips? Babes, Jody, we need a whole live on that by itself. My number 1 tip is don't do it yourself, just by yourself. So I owned my restaurants by myself. I didn't have any partners, I didn't have any investors. And whilst people might look at that as like an achievement or a sign of success, I think it's actually the opposite. If you can share the burden in hospitality, I 100% would recommend you to do so. Maybe I'll come on live another night and we can just do a whole like business live, because there's so much to say. So much to say. What are your non-negotiables in your morning routine for you and your kids? I mean, no phones, clearly. In the morning, we go straight into breakfast. We sing our national anthem. They do their morning affirmations, which are non-negotiable. And I like to lie down in the sun in my birthday suit for 20 minutes. That's kind of it. Scrolling through. Hello from Trinidad. All the Trinis in the house. You're waiting to learn? Chef Alejandro, what are you waiting to learn, baby? I mean this with no harm. Do you not worry about showing your children's faces online? I don't worry at all. I've been meaning to do a post about this. A lady, and this, I promise I'm going to wrap up soon. A lady posted online and she said screenshot her insights from her posts. And she was saying that when it's just her, it's like 70% female, 30% men. And when she posts anything that was including her children, it flipped and it became like 70% men and 30% female. And I was like, really? It seemed a very shocking change. So I went and checked my insights because I was like, is this actually what's happening out in these streets? Not that, first of all, I want to say it's not just men that are predators. Can we be very clear? But I just wanted to see, right? And the point is my insights didn't change at all. And so my whole thing about why I'm comfortable sharing my children online is that I do think that there's a difference when your content solely relies on the involvement of your children. And I appreciate that many people might think that this is hypocritical of me, and I'm perfectly happy for you to hold that position. But I don't believe that my content relies solely on my children. Most of it is me talking to the camera. Most of it is, not involving them at all. Desserts after dark, they're not inside for obvious reasons. On Instagram, I post 4 times a day. One is desserts after dark. One is a clip from my podcast, and then I have a travel post and a parenting post. So from that perspective, in terms of the balance of where the content lies, I'm comfortable with the fact that I might show us having a conversation over eating pizza for the first time. But again, what proportion of my content is that? I may show us having a meal at a restaurant. And again, they're not talking to camera. They're not being asked to perform, if that makes sense. And I do think that there is a difference. And I'm also happy for the people who have children who do perform to completely defend their position. I'm just saying what I'm comfortable with. Also, I never share, like, in my posts. If you look on my social media, you don't know which country I'm in. You can think that I'm in Bali 1 second, and then you see a post from Jamaica in another second, and then you see Thailand in another second, or South Africa. And I do that deliberately because I don't think people should know the precise location. So even if you knew that we were in Thailand, for example, you might not know whether it was Phuket, Krabi, or Bangkok. And to me, that's really important. The other thing is that I don't share any private details about my children in terms of like their health. I've seen people talk about their doctor's visits. And again, I get it. You can get caught up in a moment. I had a lady tell me that I shared my child's full name on the internet. And it turns out she was referring to a story where I said that my dog's name was Anastasia Edwina Jackson on her birth certificate. And that was my dog, not my child. The internet does not know my children's full name. The internet does not know their surname. The internet does not know their middle name. And for the most part, most people don't even know which one is which, to be fair. They have worn aprons before, with their names on them, their first name. But in terms of, like, for example, if they went to school, I would never show them in their uniform. So I say all of this to say that I believe that I have taken the necessary precautions to protect my children. But also the final thought that I really want to leave you with, I believe the statistic is 99% of abuse that children are on the receiving end of is from people that they know. So I am far more vigilant about who is in our immediate circle. Like, there are people I know that have never met my children. And then the people that have met my children in person, they say to me, I'm so grateful that you allowed us to meet them, because I know that you just don't allow people around your kids. And so I'm far less worried about the internet. I appreciate what people can do with what I'm calling them, dark fakes, or whatever I'm calling them. And it's so funny because the first person who was charged and in the UK for creating these AI images off of children, do you know who his number one customer was? His number one customer was the relatives of the child. So the dads, the uncles, the brothers, the people in the child's immediate space was his number one customer. So when people ask me, or tell me to be insulting, not that you're trying to be insulting, but when people try to tell me, oh, well, you care so much about your children's food, but you show them on the internet, I'm just like, it makes no sense to me. Because we can agree to disagree on something, but let's not pretend that the same thought process or the same amount of thinking that goes into my parenting doesn't extend into how much I show of my children online. That was probably a very long answer. I know I've gone over my time. I said I was only jumping on here for 20 minutes and it's already coming up to an hour, but this is what happens. So let me try and get back to your comments because that was an in-depth response that I wasn't expecting. But sometimes you have to thought of things. Where are we? You do your best to make sure your children are educated. Happy Easter from Trinidad too. Big up yourself, baby. You do your best to make sure that your children are educated and strong, and I love it. I think there's a huge difference between just being dictated to and being given the opportunity to understand the why. Yes, restaurant tips, as in opening a restaurant. You're waiting to learn. I'm not sure which part you're waiting to learn, babes. Hi, Nikki. Big up yourself, baby. Where are we at? It's only 7 at night where I live. You're lucky. I'm trying to get to bed. And I have to be up really early. I have to be up at 6. So again, people talk to me all the time about how do I create content if I don't have my children on devices. It's because I stay up late. And even when I want to go to my bed early, I don't get to go. I don't either, due to how I raise my children or conduct ourselves. Mrs. Wallace, I'm not sure which part you're referring to. Can I ask why? Oh, I guess you're asking that before I answered. Where are we at? Not hearing? Oh, really? Nobody's hearing after me talking this long epistle? Pebble J, big up yourself, baby. You encourage me to try new recipes in the kitchen. Amazing. The volume is really low. I think it's because I have my phone propped up on pillows. I'm very sorry. Hopefully you can turn it up. I'm about to leave you soon, so don't worry. Turn up the volume, please. Oh, Lord. Have you guys been listening in silence all of this time? Would you ever visit Trinidad? Babes, I've been to Trinidad before. I'd love to go again. And I want to go for Carnival. I'm putting it out there in the universe. And I love doubles already. You're hearing me clearly? Thank you very much. YouTube is always doing better than TikTok these days in terms of the lives. I don't want to sound wrong. A fit and phone. And JD, big up yourself, baby. Oh, you're hearing. Oh, better now. It's better now because I'm holding it. Lord, yeah, give me more work. We're all here. You guys are jokers. Been a silent watcher for a long time. Joanna, big up yourself, babes. Thank you for breaking the silence. I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate the positivity. Yes, to opening a restaurant. You just want a little cozy coffee shop. I love this. Where are you based? She bakes. TT, is that TT for TNT? Any cookbooks you would recommend? Oh, babes, I don't really have any cookbook recommendations. I can give you fiction books to recommend. I'm very sorry. Wait for mine. You're from Trinidad. Amazing. Honestly, let's put it out there in the universe that you'll open up your little coffee shop by the time I come for Carnival. Your favorite time parents would take from a year old to watch Mass. Aaron, big up yourself. Oh, honestly, I just want to be in Carnival in the most elaborate costume. I want to go to the gym and tighten everything up and just be like adorned with feathers. That is my dream. Maybe like for my 40th or something. What was the hardest thing you found to keep under control with your children? I know this might sound really silly, but there's nothing that's been hard. My children are really amazing. They're such a blessing. They don't give me a hard time. I find motherhood really easy. I find adults really hard. I have a lot of other challenges in my life. It just doesn't come from parenting or motherhood. Guyana, big up yourself. Thank you very much, my little home. Okay, I think I've got to the bottom of this. Oh no, there's a few more, answering a few more. When is your cookbook? Babes, I don't know. I just had a good meeting with an agent and I'm hoping that, but cookbooks also take a long time, guys. They take a long, like from the time you sign the contract to the time the book is available, it's like 18 months to 2 years. So let's not get too excited. Do you ever feel lonely moving around and traveling without family? 100%. I feel very isolated. To be honest with you, I like the isolation most of the times, but I was saying to my dad yesterday that definitely there are moments where I'm just like, I just want to go home, as in home to Jamaica, and I feel more isolated because you're always a foreigner. Particularly when I'm in Indonesia, I love like local people. I don't really get on that well with expats. The energy just isn't for me. But unfortunately, I don't speak Indonesian, right? I can say terima kasih, and that's about it. And so I feel like because of my personality, and it is so much based on talking and joking, I feel like there's always going to be such a limitation between me and local people because I can't speak the language. Always stop to listen whenever I see you. Sage, big up yourself. Thank you very much. Oh, I'm not religious at all, but you are someone to look up to. Babe, you are so kind. Hi from Antigua. Big up yourself, baby. Gotta work towards that dream. I'm only 19, so I want to play maths for the first time next year. I love it. Your girls are precious and doing amazing. Thank you very much. Would you consider dating and how to navigate that with kids? I would consider dating if I found the right person, and 100% there is a lot of added layers when you have children, but that is for another life. Babe, let's wheel and come again on that question because I want to go to my bed. Why do I not live in Jamaica? Because it's very expensive. The life that I live in Jamaica is very, very expensive. Food is very expensive. And also at the minute, I am going around the world filming my podcast. So being in Jamaica, it's harder to get to other parts of the world right now. But I'm hoping that by the end of the year, maybe that might change. Um, we can see. We can put that out in the universe too. How do you make dishes or find dishes that aren't processed but still good and taste good? I don't understand the question, babes. I cook all the time. I cook every day. It tastes very good. I don't think it's hard. I just think it's in the mind, and I think it's what people are used to. Is your mom alive? I never hear her mentioned. Just curious, hope not nosy. Sage, big up yourself. My mother left me when I was a teenager. When I say left me, I mean I came home one day, the maid told me that she was gone, and she's never been in my life since. So I have lived more of my life without her than with her. Have the girls been to Jamaica? Tamar, do not disrespect me like that. Okay, babes? My children are 5 years old and they have been to Jamaica 5 times. Okay? We do not play those games. They have been to Jamaica from in the womb. Okay, babes? Scrolling through. Have a great night. Thank you very much, Aaron. I'm in America and I feel like I'm not allowed to protect my children. Is there a country that either protects children or allows parents to have this freedom? Just wondering from your travels. Oh, really good question. When you say protect, in what way are we referring to? I ended up with a puppy. You have a puppy, babes? Oh God, I could not have a puppy right now. I just can't deal with more wiping. Like, I'm done. I'm so done with picking up poo. Tamar, big up yourself, baby. It's okay. Katisha, thank you very much for being so kind. I have a stepson and he ate nuggets, pizza, and canned spaghetti from young. No, he now hates homemade, babes. You kill me on the canned spaghetti. No, oh, eats. No, he eats homemade. Okay, got you. Babes, big up yourself. Quick question. Are the girls 100% yours? 100% mine? Of course they're 100% mine. Is it shared custody? No, I don't have shared custody. My children are mine. You're a joker. I have a budgie. She acts as if she owns the place. You are a joker. Okay, I've got to the end of the questions. Asha, baby, ask me the question again on another live. I promise I will answer you. Yes, the girls are her own. Babes, I've been on here longer than I should be. Thank you very much for joining me. This was a little impromptu live. And I will try and jump on again another night. Have a great afternoon, morning, day, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. And big up yourself every time. See you.